I think we have audio on. Alrighty then, folks. Well, greetings there to you all in, let's see, we have the picture. Yes, we do. And it's yet another Saturday on Space Race News with yours truly and the pilot.
Good morning, everyone.
That for now is going to be the best intro we can, or at least I can muster for a little while until I get my ass to editing and making something wonderful as well as overlay. So, yay me! Oh gods, I have plenty of things to do. I still need.
No one can blame us. We all have Corona. It's fine.
No. Hey, and right, I kind of forgot to turn off the alerts real quick for this for the start of stream. So Gavin managed to get a squeak in, so thank you very much. But I'll go on the tips and things such as those generous wonderful things after we're done, discussing things. And there's some interesting things to talk about, and we'll see what's what in just a bit. But what's what? Right, yeah. So basically, what is Space Race News? Again, this is the fifth week that we've been doing this, and I try to make this sort of a weekly news-related thing, and whatnot else. So we'll see whether or not this ends up actually becoming a thing, and well, hopefully it will. So. Well, let's see, can I remove, yes, of course I have things, again, because Elite Dangerous decides, oh, you know what I'm gonna do, because you had, used VR in the past, I'm gonna completely reset your, graphical settings, reset your fucking, controls, or half of them, who the fuck cares, let's go, yeah.
Didn't you back up your controllers? Your controls?
No, I usually have them relatively simple, and the only things that I really need to map is the camera, which I'm currently complaining about, and the other one's the fucking shit scanner, and a few other things like those. But anyways, there's just old man TheYamiks again complaining about fucking things. Anyways,
that's all right. They're saying Tom Beavens is a pilot can't actually fly poser. No, I can't.
Yes, I agree. He can't fly shit. He is proven in his videos that he has organized that he can't do crap. There you go. That's the news. And I'm even worse. I can barely organize the cat herd thing that is my Discord. So yay.
I move a camera, not a ship. Aren't you paying attention? Jesus.
Oh, all right, yeah. We're basically more in tune with the actual camera than the ships. Oh well. In any case, so yeah, today we got a few topics before we get started on the main topic. So,
gee, I wonder what the main topic is.
Yeah, gee. So, folks, bear with us. We're gonna get to it. Okay. Anyways, so the first topic that I have written down was that you may notice that the stream. God damn it. Hold on. Can I? No, stupid game. There we go. Right. You may notice that your stream, at least on the YouTube side, has gone to 480p rather than the previously set default that you had. See, right now YouTube is using, or rather changing its default systems, or rather just default viewing to 480p globally, right? So whatever videos you may watch, they will be on lower resolution, and the reason for that is, well, quite clearly obvious. If it's not, then, well, they simply have, a lot of bandwidth to take care of, and since everyone's sitting at home, being safe and all that wonderful stuff, they are literally putting down slightly lower quality so that both you and their servers don't get as much, traffic. Now, obviously, you can change it back to 780, 1080p, and what else, or 4K, whatever you watch, right? But usually, well, this is generally done to, again, reduce the load and also, of course, the bandwidth, giving everyone the, well, chance to watch stuff rather than having the servers crash or whatnot else. So that's kind of good. So
this is the long roundabout way of saying you should just go watch it on the Twitch side.
Yeah, follow me on the Twitch, and if Pilot has the channel there, that too, yes. So yeah, I guess, but yeah, there you go. If you ever wondered why that happens, essentially just to conserve bandwidth and processing power, so that everyone gets to experience the glory of yours truly and the Pilot. Yes, so so that's done. Next topic that we have is well, the new console specs. I think that's gonna be let's leave the new console specs as the last one if we actually get to it. The one thing that I
say, what are the console peasants having to deal with this year? How are they gimped this year?
Okay, you know, fuck it. No, let's go into the whole peasantry. Yes, this is the one real weird time when TheYamiks is gonna say positive things about peasantry. So, as you may already tell, TheYamiks is the glorious PC Master Race member and brother, and what it tells as you would say, right? But the thing is, well, not developers, but manufacturers, developers, whatever you want to call them, Microsoft and Sony have released basically the stats and specs of each upcoming machines. The Xbox X. Oh wait, no, Xbox SE, or was it Xbox X?
I think it's the Xbox Series X.
Oh yeah, Series X, right. There we go, perfect. So that one's gonna be actually a bit more powerful than the Sony's given alternative, but obviously Xbox is gonna be a bit more expensive. The price is, if I remember correctly, PlayStation 5 is gonna be. Was it 500? I think it was 500 bucks, and then Xbox is gonna be like a bit more expensive. But regardless,
so, hold on. Are we still in the Kingdom Hearts era where putting more X's in your name means it's more badass? Are we gonna have to fight someone to open up the Key of Hearts or Hearts of the World or something like that?
I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
Xbox
nor
Series
I
X.
wish to learn.
Goddamn name. You didn't play Kingdom Hearts, really?
Never played one of those games, and after watching Jim Sterling's slight parody of the story recapping, I'm kind of afraid to even care.
Oh god, the recap videos are just amazing. They're so cringy and weird and stupid, and you know what? I'll actually admit something. I have of the numerous tattoos I have, one of them is a Kingdom Hearts tattoo.
Hey, there is this thing called guilty pleasure. For many people, that is called The Room. For me, that would be Star Citizen. For rest, I'd say the strap-on dildo pegging porn or something. I don't know. Probably.
Why did you have to go there? Why do you immediately have to go to the... Look, see, we're back to X-rated. See how that works? Made it full circle.
You came here not expecting this to be X. What?
So, like they're saying Kingdom Hearts is for kids. Yes, it was for kids. We were kids.
Yeah,
when
it
we
was originally for kids. It's a mashup between what was it? The Final
Disney.
Fantasy? Oh wait, Disney and Final Fantasy, right? Yeah, and that kind of makes a really interesting idea, right? A mashup, sure. And and then games happened, more than one.
Yeah, it probably
it was a mess.
You know, over the course of 22 years.
I mean, okay, fine. But hey, consistency, I guess, is a thing that many people seem to kind of gloss over with many games these days, you know, which will lead into... no, actually, no, it's fair enough with Half-Life Alyx, but spoilers, I guess, won't go into that stuff, regardless. Yeah, as for this, right, so as for the consoles, essentially both consoles gonna have Xbox is still gonna have slightly higher clocked 8-core Zen 2 chip in it, while I'd say PlayStation 5, I mean PlayStation 5 is gonna have still an 8-core Zen 2 chip, which is, say what you will, these days a really decent chip. Maybe not the absolute greatest chips around and all that stuff, but They are comparable with Intel these days, so it's gonna be really good. I can promise you that much. And 8 cores, I mean, fucking hell, that's really good. Also, both consoles gonna have close to 1 TB of SSD, which, trust me, if you're a console peasant, or console peasant, you're gonna basically enjoy what the PC has enjoyed for the last, what was it, 10 years? Almost 10
Longer.
years, I think.
It's 2020.
Oh, yeah, when was the first SSDs? But in any case, the load time is going to be incredible. The snappiness of the OS is going to be incredible as well. I can promise you that. Because here's the thing. I have my VR rig with a hard drive. I have my laptop with, or used to have laptop with a hard drive. And those chug. No matter what or how good the hard drive is, it chugs. So yeah, it's probably gonna be the most felt increase on improvement for the consoles. I can, pretty much guarantee.
All right, so let me ask you this: actually, let me ask all the rooms here that we're talking to, who has an 8K TV? Because that's what they're doing. They can stream up to 8K. Does anyone have an 8K TV or
there are 8K
TVs?
That is true.
I know. But does anyone have one? No?
Realistically speaking, if you're an enthusiast, if you have an 8K TV, right? Oh wait, no, 8Ks. I mean, okay, fine, 4Ks. Let's say if you have a 4K TV,
I don't like it.
I mean, yeah, you're most likely gonna have enough money to get a PC. And you know what I'm going to be saying right now afterwards. But no, when it comes down to 8K, they're just literally using that 8K resolution that their consoles are able to, produce enough stuff for 8K, whatnot else. It's just the fact that they can, not necessarily that they will, nor that there is hardware that you can push it on. Right?
Wait, so here's a feature that you can't really use? Buy my stuff?
No. It's mostly because there's no hardware for it, but now, I mean, there is hardware. Obviously, there are 8K TVs and so on and so forth, right? It's a marketing gimmick, just like many, back in the day, it was Vista ready, right? PCs or laptops that had the Vista ready, or these days it's more common to see VR ready or gaming gear. It's all marketing, right? So,
I'm not exactly thrilled about that AMD chip in the Xbox unit either, but
why?
Whatever.
Why?
I'm an
Why?
AMD guy. We've had this discussion. I'm an Intel guy.
Okay.
It's more reliable.
Pilot, have you seen the fucking Ryzen 3950X? That fucking thing is like one of the top, 5 gaming chips in the fucking market. What?
You know I like setting you off, right?
just the Pilot, what the fuck, bro?
Dude, I'm sorry. Look, just traditionally, and granted, I'm coming at it from over the last 30 years of experience. This Intel chips are more reliable. AMD chips are very good at just blowing the curve. I'll give you that entirely, but they're also kind of flaky. They'll just randomly blow.
I would blow. I wouldn't say exactly explode and whatnot else, but the flakiness. I mean, okay, fine. I'm talking from the fucking Threadripper owners club, sort of speaking, right? This is my first AMD chip, and I went completely balls deep with it, right? So yeah, until this time, I mean, I have i7 first gen chip and 4th gen chip, right? On the 4th gen, I'm using the VR rig, but regardless, the thing is, AMD historically was just as good as Intel, if not better, on Athlon 64 days. At that time, I still had Intel Celeron, for fuck's sake. So yeah, it was garbage. But really depends on which chips you go for. If you go for the top liners, right? What was the? Damn it, there was a term for it. well, the best chips on from the market and what else from each given manufacturer. Yeah, Intel tends to be a bit more reliable. That is true.
Yeah.
Also a bit more overclockable. They are definitely than the Ryzen Plus chips. That is Ryzen 2000 series. And Ryzen first gen series.
I have 2 Ryzen rigs in my house right now. I'm not saying I'm not going to buy it. I'm just saying that I ultimately prefer the Intel chips. And realistically, if we are admitting that there's a little bit of a reliability issue with the AMDs, the fact that Xbox of Microsoft of all people is putting AMD chips in their units, even though the Xbox is has always been notorious for just red ringing or dying or this and that. It just seems like you're opening up for another fucking 360 issue.
Not necessarily. The thing is, the reason why Xbox and PS4 are going for Intel, not going with Intel chips, is just pure and simple value per, or value to.
Oh, they're more expensive.
Cost.
It's money, yeah.
That's the thing, and reliability really isn't that different at that price point, because let's be honest, a console is going to be using not the top liners that completely go off the wall, right? They're going to be using essentially tested chips that are basically cut down versions of the the mainliners, or better yet, just the budget chips. And they're going to be and AMD's budget chips are just as good as Intel's, really. They don't overheat much.
They just perform of an individual. You're thinking of an individual buy, though. What I'm saying is that if you do a macroeconomic thing about it, if you're
sure,
not just buying
in the batch, the thing is, do we have oh gods, we actually need Gamers Nexus here to basically disclose the information of whether or not Intel has been getting more devs than AMD in the last whatever quarter or what else, because we really don't have the data there. So we again, at this point we're just speculating.
Yeah, that's the whole point of this. We're talking out our ass here.
Oh.
I thought that's why we got together.
Oh, fake news, folks. Thanks for undermining this whole endeavor and enterprise. Thank you. Yes. Jesus Christ.
Nobody's coming here to listen to facts. Come on.
Oh, come on. We can be factuals and informative. Why not?
I think they're here to listen to the Latvian make fun of the pilot here and the pilot to rile up.
American, we little tiny itsy bitsy little Latvian, yes. But anyways, the fact of the life is just that the new console is going to be quite powerful, and they're going to be actually surprisingly well priced. Say what you will. I tried to spec out a similar rig with relatively used hardware as well at the end, and honestly, even then it's kind of hard to beat the console sort of a price. I mean, okay, $500 is for a PC that doesn't make you a great gaming capable. I mean, sure, these days you have so many games from the past that you can play on max graphics with even a really, really, really cheap PC, right? And the same with consoles and so on and so forth. So there's no wonder that the new console generation is going to be relatively cheap and very, very, very powerful in comparison to the past. But that's yeah.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. That the specs themselves look comparable to a decent rig, and you can't actually buy a decent rig for that price point and get those same components unless you buy them in bulk, which they are. And good for them. The only problem I have with consoles, realistically, is the walled garden aspect of it.
Oh, yeah, the exclusives and stuff like that. And that is part of the business, which is, exclusives are good for, that walled garden and so on and so forth. But unfortunately, when we're talking about gaming and exclusives, okay, let's say PS4 has the Bloodborne that I really would like to see on PC, but it doesn't have that. So that's the only game that I really can't play from the vast exclusive offerings from PS4 that they have. And in the meantime, I can play every fucking old game that I can imagine on PC.
Right. What's the game with the mechanical dinosaurs running around?
Ark. I think
No. The one where you're the red-haired chick.
The Zero Dawn, Horizon Zero Dawn is gonna be coming to
That's
PC
coming
as
to PC.
well.
Exactly. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm really looking forward to. That.
Yeah, me too. I mean, Ascorbius, those that don't know, the Commander Ascorbius, a fellow creator. I was with him last year for the LaveCon, and the first LaveCon that I went to 2 years ago, he gave me the Horizon to play a little bit, and I was actually really impressed with the visuals. Well, maybe not impressed with the visuals because it's a fucking console, first things first, but the idea of the world and actually the level design was pretty decent, and the creature design, and just generally speaking, also the story was at least seemed to be pretty decent. So yeah, it's definitely one of the games that I'm kind of looking forward to just at least try. So yeah,
me too.
Who knows? So yeah, console. This console generation is gonna be a really good one. When it comes down to it, graphics cards, right? It's interesting that also both in graphics cards and in CPUs, while both consoles will have the same cores, Xbox version will have slightly overclocked, higher clocked cores than PS4, and the same thing goes with. Graphics cards that will be basically integrated Vega chips and what else. Not integrated, but just custom Vega chips with RDNA 2 structure or what else. Essentially, Xbox version is going to be comparable to RTX 2060, slightly lower than 2060.
I'm so sure that those mass-produced console units with the overclocked everything aren't going to overheat at all.
No, they're not overclocked. They're just higher clocked cores and so on and so forth. But the thing is, the 8-core Ryzen 7 nanometer chips, they really don't overheat that much. I mean, for fuck's sakes, the previously mentioned, right, the 3950X, essentially the same core count and thread count chip that my Threadripper has, right? That's the newest generation AMD offering. Literally has almost twice as little power consumption because again it's on a lower manufacturing.
Well, yeah, but that's the nature of the chips, is that every iteration goes smaller or increases efficiency to lower heat. Yeah. You know, I mean, that's just the standard of it. But realistically, these are compact units and they're mass produced, which means quality control. You didn't build it yourself. You know, quality control is going to be shit, and it's all going to be glued in place, so you can't repair it yourself. You know it is. Come on,
glued in, yeah.
Soldered even.
We'll see. Again, we'll see how it goes. But the point is, yeah, fuck it. Console is gonna have some good times enjoying the last yesterday's gaming today. That's a wonderful topic that I kind of stole from one of the articles online, right? Welcome, console peasants. Yesterday's gaming today. So
someone in the chat asked if No Man's Sky was worth it. Yes, go give that a shot.
I'd say yeah. Go take a look at it. It's a decent game for the price it is. If you're not sure, go for a sale. Just wait until a sale and then go for it. Yeah, developers are developing things and making them nice, and the game keeps on adding more important things. Oftentimes not adding anything at all, just improving it, like quality of life, like improving the inventory amount, or rather the stuff that you can put in an inventory a couple of patches ago, which was really nice addition and opened up a little bit of the normal play, of course. So yeah, there are many interesting things, although the living ship was kind of a bitch. I mean, it looks nice, but some issues with it. Oh, I still haven't picked up No Man's Sky since we last talked last week. I've been kind of doing little things here and there, so haven't had the time. And I still don't have the stupid ship.
The planet is literally in lockdown. Everyone's stuck inside, and you don't have time to go get a living ship. Shame.
Hey, I've got more important things to do than play No Man's Sky, like bitch about the Elite Dangerous. Which we're gonna get to it, folks. We're gonna get to it. Don't worry. But yeah, consoles. Even though not the greatest level of things. They will have ray tracing because they will have the Vega RDNA 2 structure. Watchman has its graphics cards with both of them. So yeah, expect some ray tracing. But honestly, what kind of a ray tracing thing you can have on an GTX 2060 equivalent? Because here's the thing. I played throughout the Quake 2 RTX version with my 2080 Ti, and it honestly still lacked a lot. 2060? What the fuck is that gonna do? Like, what's the point in putting in ray tracing with that sort of thing when you just basically have no horsepower to do anything meaningful with it, anyways?
Marketing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Marketing. That's it. That's about
Hey,
it.
all the PC people say ray tracing is awesome. Let's say our thing does it too.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, all right then. Yeah, so console's good. We'll see what's what. Then Half-Life Alyx. So I finished playing Half-Life Alyx. Finished the damn thing through, and all right. So quick question that I already know answer to. Pilot, have you played Half-Life Alyx? What do you think of it, even if you haven't?
You know damn well I haven't, and I don't care.
You don't care. Question
Not
is
even a little bit.
Why?
You know, I don't give a shit about the Half-Life franchise, and I don't put on my VR rig unless... You know what? No, it's not heresy. The game is freaking over decades old. I played it when I was young. It was fun. It was good. But for God's sakes, I couldn't give a shit about Half-Life 3 or Half-Life Alyx. It's far too old, far too late. As a VR game on its own, it looks interesting enough, but not anything that I'm going to go buy and fire up a VR rig for.
All right. All right, in that perspective, there you go. That's the alternative that I can offer. Geist is nowhere near, so we can't have a third opinion. But well, hey, if you're around, I mean, join any voice chats. I'll drag you in. Right. Anyways, that aside, I did play through it. I mean, I not just played through it. I literally muscled through the motherfucking thing. 3 days straight, I had my horse ripper literally just plop down in my extra room that I have for just stand-up VR stuff. And thing is, first things first, Valve shows absolutely how a VR game should be made. That's just the bottom line. That's how you make a VR game properly. That's how you code it properly. And the thing is, they did it for all, I don't think that they did for all the VR headsets or whatnot else, but they did for the majority of them. So yeah, that they basically show how both the controls have to be done, how the fucking coding must be done, how handling of both the arms and controllers and of course the headset has to be done, and what not to do with VR. And you know, now that I think of it, the only other sort of a story-based VR game that I would think of is Arizona Sunshine, right? It has a story, it has a similar idea to just go through environments and just shoot things, and that's it. Maybe with a thing or two that is a bit different with, you know, puzzles and whatnot else. But the thing is, Arizona Sunshine developers just were so lazy on many controllers, the detection, the fucking environment design as well. Just the thing is, on my VR rig with my RX 580 Radeon card, I can run Half-Life Alyx on 144 Hz, no problem. It looks amazing. Like truly, the game's environments look amazing, though they are small. So obviously that's where the shortcoming comes from the VR. You can make it look amazing. The problem is, environment's gonna be small and Pilot is dead.
You know what I've been playing this week while you've been playing Alyx?
Go for it.
I've been playing Stellaris Federations, and I've been still on the same match that I started last week. And I gotta tell you,
wow, you're slow at winning.
No, it's not about winning. It's about playing the game. Listen, I've been running an egalitarian pacifist empire. I have almost won that entire game without firing a single shot, just by using diplomacy and favors and overproducing minerals, giving it away, getting favors in return, and then running the Galactic Senate to actually go have everyone bend to my will. They all freaking love me, and I still can't get anyone to join the fucking Federation.
Oh, well, okay. So, What
That's
I
interesting.
did, right? So, okay, Stellaris, right? Quickly switching to Stellaris, right? I played a match with my militaristic hive mind and didn't
Shit.
fight anyone, and won a match within, I think it was 60 plus years. And that's literally about a 2 hour. Yeah, I didn't fight anyone. I literally won by just achieving. Which was I think it was either the territory goal or something else, but it wasn't just conquering anyone. And I did it. I didn't need some pussy ass fucking pacifists like you to win this shit. So there you go. Hive mind for the win.
It's worth exploring different mechanics and play styles. You don't have to just bulldoze through everything.
Right. My last couple of comments about Half-Life Alyx. So it is absolutely the best VR game. There's no question about it. Valve has done an excellent job at making it. I got pretty sick when I streamed it on its launch. It was quite just nauseating at first. The second day I muscled through it. Didn't really get that sick, but I had to take a break a little bit. But that's a typical thing with VR, really. And the same thing happened with Arizona. Really, it's just the way you are built, and then once you get used to it, obviously it's easier. And now that I actually played through Half-Life Alyx, or rather, I started another campaign right after that and tried to just go through it as fast as I can, and I didn't get sick anymore. So it's just getting used to it, and that's the part of the VR that I don't particularly like. Well, regardless, in a way it's a gimmick, in a way it's not, depending on whom you ask. For me, it's obviously more of a gimmick, but the game is incredible. So yeah, it certainly shows what can be done and how it's done, though it doesn't break any sort of walls or new ground like Half-Life 2 did back in the day. I mean, when Half-Life 2 released back in the day,
I mean, color me shocked.
Yeah, they literally introduced physics that wasn't done anywhere else in any capacity like what Half-Life did, and that was incredible. Obviously, the graphics were also just absolutely amazing. And some say that, yeah, Far Cry released a slightly earlier and had also very groundbreaking graphics, but nowhere near Half-Life levels. So that was an interesting thing. But now Half-Life Alyx, what new ground does it break? Well, it breaks the VR new ground, but there's little competition within it, and coding something like a VR game is very hard, I know, and very few people even try. So it's.
I think it broke the hype. How about that?
I'd say Doom Eternal was overhyped in some way, even for myself. So.
Well, how about we unmute Sepulcher here and ask him what he thinks?
Hello, Geist. You're around? Not mute. I didn't mute him. He's around. Oh. Come on. Hello.
He just doesn't have his mic turned on?
Hey, he's dead, Jim. Well, until he.
Bummer.
Speaks up, I guess. Continuing on. Then.
Hey, what's up?
There we go, folks. Hey, man, welcome. Hey. I have always a massive trouble just reading your name. So how about you introduce yourself? Like honestly, can't you just normally write your name?
It's Sepulcher Geist, man. It's not hard.
All right.
Yeah. You can just call me Geist.
Yeah, that's easier.
Yeah. Did I get my mic set up all right?
Yes, just fine.
Yeah,
just
fine.
So, actually, the last couple of topics, feel free to chime in on any of them if you have any thoughts.
Oh, Doom Eternal? I haven't played that yet, but my brother's obsessed with it. And that's all I have to say about that.
All right, so there we go. We can move on to the main topic of today, and that is Elite Dangerous and the Fleet Carrier announcement of the developer stream, as well as the potential betas and things. So who you know what? Pilot, you go ahead, since you really care about this stuff. Explain what happened.
Yeah, just totally. I mean, the 17 videos on my YouTube front page that fleet carriers are coming. Yeah, that wasn't enough to completely overburden everyone with this information. They cost $5 billion and a weekly upkeep that you would I'll only have to go into huge debt to lose them because there's a decommissioning practice apparently, and I don't give a shit at all. I don't have 5 billion. I don't want to grind for 30 hours in a minefield, probably more now, to go get the 5 billion, to go buy the thing, to go plant it somewhere that's going to get enough traffic that people will land on it so they can turn in their stuff so that it'll keep running. Pass.
Yeah,
Pass.
that's a little steep.
Yeah, that's all there is to it. Do either of you actually have any particular interest in this thing?
In the fleet carrier, I have a lot of interest in it, but the upkeep.
Hit me. Sell it to me. Sell me this pen.
So, well, I have a lot of friends who just don't like playing Elite Dangerous that much because they just don't like traveling, and they'd love to be able to travel alongside me using the fleet carrier or something along those lines.
Okay. So basically, they just want somebody to ferry them. Have your friends ever considered paying some random anonymous internet guy to take your account and basically do the traveling for you and potentially have it banned and for monies? Have you considered that?
Have I considered being paid for it?
No, have you ever considered giving your money to some shady... No one cares about that. Have you considered giving your money to some shady third-party asshole on the internet to do that for you?
Oh, man.
That is just a joke.
I like the fleet carriers in concept, but the pilot's right. The upkeep alone is a big turnoff. The steep price, I could see eventually grinding to that, but just to get another bill to pay, I don't know if it's worth it.
It's not. And here's the thing, like everyone just says, oh, well, I'd love to be able to move all my ships to one station. You could do that now. Just go and hit the transfer ship button and then wait. Walk away. Go take a break. Because you're going to get the same amount of quality gameplay by turning off your rig and going outside versus setting your giant fleet carrier to jump 500 light years at a clip.
Yeah.
That's it. If there is value here, I would absolutely love to see it. But I don't. But
a lot of it's the sentimental value of owning something like that. Some people really want to own a station or own a base of some kind. And this is maybe that answer to that. And maybe it's more geared towards squadrons or people in that nature.
But the thing is, back in the day when fleet carriers were announced, the thing is, they the thing is, it was 2017 Frontier Expo when they announced the fleet carriers, and everyone was thinking, oh, okay, squadrons and the fleet carriers, so they're going to be kind of combined, or why are they separately announced? So where's the picture of any of that? Where's the concept art even? What's going on? No answers. And then a little while later on, as we get more information that fleet carriers might be coming and what they might have, developers did sort of unveil that they will be upgradable before the squadron release, and we still didn't know whether or not they were attached to squadrons or not. And only in relatively recent half year or something like that, we've learned essentially that they're going to be privately owned. So everyone can have one, because everyone needs their toys, and developers will take away those toys if you don't keep up paying them. Like a mafioso.
Well, they might change their minds on that. There might be a lot of backlash to that upkeep.
There is already. There is already.
So, I mean, they could totally change their minds, which might change my mind.
Well, okay. Let me ask you this. From a completely logistical standpoint, let's say you want to be smart about this, okay? So you go and you get 5 billion, you buy your carrier, you outfit it for mining, which is probably going to cost another billion to open up the market. You go fling it out into like some deep system near the core that's really rich in minerals and void opals and diamonds and whatever. You get your squadron to even come out with you. You all land on the carrier. You take turns going out to the rings and pulling all of these minerals and bringing them back and selling them back to your own carrier. Where's the logistics in that? If this thing needs an upkeep for gas and keeping the markets open and paying your employees, where exactly are we selling the minerals that we get from the rings to the ship? Do we have our own loan system going on here? What's going on? How is this getting back to any kind of planet? Does that equal trade?
Maybe
right?
there's supposed to be other crew members on that ship that are somehow selling them on the Galnet or something,
Yeah, but
shipping them out for you in the background. I don't know.
Then I want to see the traffic. I want to see trade caravans going through, autonomous NPC trade caravans going through. I want to be able to shoot them down. I want to be able to completely bankrupt someone's carrier who's decided to plant themselves next to Sagittarius A just because. I'm not going to do it, but I want to see that gameplay in play. I want an actual economy before I am, beholden to it. Otherwise, it's just a garbage gameplay mechanic.
Well, I think it all sounds really fun, minus the fact that, it costs so much. I mean, going out into the black near Sagittarius A and doing all that mining with your friends on your own, base, that does sound really fun to me. But yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense for the reasons you specified. And the price and the upkeep is very hindering. So,
yeah.
But it does sound fun in theory. It could be.
Look, I mean, realistically, if we could burn the bubble and just have everyone have a fleet carrier, and that would be great. But we don't actually have the economy backend or the BGS system in place in order to make that happen. It's just non-existent.
Oh God!
I would absolutely love to burn the bubble. I really would.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people would. I mean, DJ was one of the more louder proponents of burning the bubble and all that stuff. I was more for burning the bubble because that would, kind of be interesting, and also that would allow for power play to be completely reset and redone in a more organic way rather than just taking it off and putting it back in, which, let's be honest, Frontier is too cowardly to ever do.
Exactly. So, I want to be able to own a network of systems as the Pirate Lord. Come on.
Yeah.
The Pirate Lord, the pilot.
Oh
my. That's a bit redundant. I'm gonna have to
come
up with a better...
Butt pirate pilot. Oh my.
I'll just rebrand as the Pirate. How about that? Yes, he's terrible, but he's charming.
Oh my. Oh boy, but no, right. So the fleet carriers. The interesting thing is, right? I released my video and then wanted to talk about the whole fleet carriers and 5 billion credit mark, but I was rather still taken back by the amount of just negative sort of a feel and commenting, and then just overall outlook from basically everyone who heard about the 5 billion, because I did a poll like yesterday about where everyone stands. Wow, that was a small sort of a viewer base related poll, but still majority, like about 80+%, well 80% give or take, right? People still have less than 5 billion total assets. So if everyone, or at least majority, would like to have the fleet carrier, they would have to grind more than half of what they already have, if not again the same amount. And considering that a lot of us have spent 1,000, 2,000, fucking 3, 4, 5,000 hours in the game, just don't really want to lift your hand, and even if it is spending those 25 hours straight to get to 5 billion mining and whatnot else. They
should definitely provide another way to make that money to get these fleet carriers.
Question is, do we need it?
No, hold on a minute. I have a better idea. I don't want this thing to be sold at all. I want you to have to freaking earn it. I want you to have to grab a team of, 5 people, go and complete this massive quest line of killing things or aligning with certain power, and then grabbing them, then going over and building it, and maybe wait a day or so. But then then you should be given a carrier. I think that would be better.
Like in I don't know, No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. Well, I mean, they just hand you one. They just hand you one there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, at this point, right? So No Man's Sky was making, I assume, jabs at Elite Dangerous, with the Synthesis and Beyond updates and the whole reticle. I mean, the navigation bubble thingamajig, right? And then it kind of felt like, from No Man's Sky doing really good and managing to do a couple of jabs at, how shit the Elite Dangerous is in some distant way, right? And now Elite decides, oh, you want to do jabs? We're going to do jabs on your fleet carriers, and we're going to make our players suffer for it, so it's going to be a double jab. Oh, wait, at us. Whoopsie!
Wait, didn't you catch it? Tritium. It runs on tritium. It's the same stuff
it runs
that,
on tritium. That is the same thing that normal ships in No Man's Sky uses, but it's a real alloy. I mean, not alloy, but it's a real substance in real life. It's what's hydrogen something. God damn it. Chats, feel free to express your Wikipedia knowledge or chemistry knowledge in the chats. Give us definition of what tritium was exactly. But yeah, there you go. Hydrogen 3. Thank you, Trevor. Yes. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the response jab that, hey, our stuff runs on the same fuel as yours.
Yeah, and our players have to suffer, unlike yours, to get it. Like that's a massive self-own. What the fuck?
It was a little too easy in No Man's Sky. It was kind of weird.
I mean, okay, fine. It's just like given out to you. But then again, that fleet carrier doesn't do anything, and I expect even less usage out of elites.
Exactly. I mean, I agree that, oh yeah, it's handed to you in Sky. I would have liked to maybe do something to earn it a little bit more. But realistically, they did it right. They know for a fact it doesn't really freaking do anything besides provide storage.
Oh, back in the day when they introduced it, it was a pretty decent way to earn extra cash as you send it out just to, collect stuff. That's it. That's all it did.
And again, it's the sentimental value of owning something like that.
No, it's true.
I mean, I really do love my carrier in No Man's Sky.
I mean, guys, is it just really just keeping up with the Joneses? Is that it?
Keeping up with the Joneses? I don't.
A term he uses to express that it's a mark of a status.
Well, yeah, no, okay, so it's an old term. Yeah, it's an old term that says basically the Joneses live next door. They got a new car, so you have to get a new car to show that you're on the same
appearances.
No, it's nothing like that. No, it's the reason why I'm drawn to these kinds of games at all. It's the thought of being, having these large facilities and space and, a home away from home, that sort of thing, just lost in the black. And a fleet carrier really gives you that home feeling. Being able to walk around a smaller ship would be fine too, but you can't really do that in Elite Dangerous or in No Man's Sky, but you can with the carrier. You can customize it, to fit your personality.
I want the massive dildo in front of hood ornament for my fleet carrier. That's all I ever want. Just a massive, gross dildo. That'd be perfect.
Like a massive, gross. Whoa! Jeez.
No, I get it. Look, nobody wants more than me to go and park a base out in the middle of freaking nowhere that no one will ever, and then just claim that system as my own. I totally get it.
And have a cup of tea, sit back,
Right. I say this star system belongs to me, no one else, and no one ever going to find me because there's too many stars out there. I get it. Totally get it. But once I'm out there, the fact that I have to do business or that base is going to get taken away is a bit of an issue.
I completely agree.
Like I said, there's no BGS to support it. So yeah, all you're going to do is set up a streamline of carriers, every 20 light year jumps all the way to the bubble or all the way to Colonia or all the way to Salome's point. And then people are going to say, hey, stop and trade while you're here. It's going to be freaking space Patreon.
Yeah,
if you like this support place, then please support my carrier.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh God, yeah, that kind of reminds me. It's literally a live service within a live service game. And those who don't know, Elite is a live service game. Like it or not, that is the truth. Yeah, it's a live reception. Oh god. Oh, what the fuck? It sounds like something fucking EA would do, not Frontier. Jesus.
Right?
I don't want to dig into our wallets for it, are they?
Oh, no, not
I
exactly.
don't want to beg pilots to come and land at my station. Trade your void opals here, and I'll give you a special view of the favorite ship that I like. And oh god,
well, do you remember like in GTA 4, you could like get your own office or whatever, and you could like sell goods, illegal goods through your office in GTA, not 4, sorry, GTA Online.
Oh
what
god,
if they
that
did
game alone is just It's, the interesting thing is the CEO of that company thinks that those that don't spend money on GTA Online are freeloaders. Also, he said that there's quote unquote wood to be chopped, but we don't want to indulge into it when talking about monetization of.
Aside,
yeah,
what if
that's
we had something like that for the fleet carriers, where you could upgrade like some like Type 7 or Type 9 or something that would then be part of your ship, your fleet carrier, and would then sell the supplies for you, and you could upgrade it and send it out like an NPC to go do.
You mean like X4?
X4.
You never played X4?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Okay, it's basically
you
EVO
coddled
1,
child. It's good.
Yeah, right.
It's good that you
It's
have
good.
not enjoyed. Experienced or honestly, it's.
I like X4. Shut up.
I like it enough, and yet I hate it so much, and that's because
I'll give you that. Yeah.
The fucking UI is absolutely horrendous.
X4 is a game where you basically have a simple start off, a little ship all to yourself, and basically that's it. And as you earn credits, you can buy other ships. Not only that, but you can buy NPC pilots to go fly them for you and do things for you. Eventually,
basically automated. Yeah, you can sit in a station and just order
Sweet.
NPCs to go and do things for you and earn credits and whatnot else, and eventually build a base as well.
And then you build an empire. It is. It's great. But then you build an empire.
Horrible.
It is grinding, and there are a lot of bugs, and there are a lot of issues with it. And eventually, at the end of it, you just become
EVE Offline.
Completely,
yes, Nage is right. It's EVE Offline, essentially.
It's totally administrative by the end of it. You're just looking at the map screen and moving little dots around, and that's about it. But it's still fun as hell.
It can be interesting. It looks, from time to time, it has interesting things. It runs on Vulkan, so that's an interesting thing as well, even though it's not very well coded. Regardless, it's still an interesting game in some ways.
Well, then maybe mix a little bit of that type of gameplay into the, Elite Dangerous, into the carriers.
Again,
what they need to do right now, Elite Dangerous, is essentially delegating all their 25 B team developers that they are using to, develop fleet carriers to just make microtransactions and stupid bobbleheads. That's what they are doing right now, and that's very more important than anything else within Elite Dangerous, right? Yep.
Well, here's the thing. Listen, I would absolutely love it if you could take those mechanics from X4 and bring them into Elite. I think that would be great. But again, that only works in X4 because there's an actual economy that you affect.
Yeah, the economy aspect is definitely the most coded thing. And when I talked with developers myself, I wrote them, what is the most proudest moment thing or proudest thing that you've developed for X4, and basically they say that that's the market. That's the market. And it definitely shows that they have that true dynamic market. It is a single player game, so no one else affects it kind of, but regardless, it is a dynamic one. So I mean,
you could actually go up to like the machine parts factory, put mines around it so nobody could get to it, and sooner or later you'll cause a shortage of machine parts because those parts can't get out, and that does affect the economy. It does affect the empire that station belonged to. It does affect everything eventually, and it actually is amazing. That's awesome. But if here in Elite we're just going to be trading, asset A for imaginary currency to keep this thing afloat, it doesn't actually affect anybody but you. It's weird. It's stupid. Yeah.
Well, all in all, fleet carriers for Elite Dangerous is just that one wonderful sentence that I've constantly shouted for, and that is the credits sync. I mean, what else is it really? It is a credit.
I want my space legs.
I want atmospheric landings.
Well, atmospheric landings is not gonna happen probably anytime soon until they get enough money from the big update, and after that's gonna be the next thing in their plan, I assume. Because again, if leaks are to be believed, again, yeah, the space legs and the building on planets is gonna be the thing for new era. I don't want building. Fuck that.
I want to take a ship. I want to park it next to a star. I want to hop out and set it to autopilot to go careening into the sun while I laugh maniacally.
I do that with Asp Scout.
Exactly. So, I just wanted to watch it go into the sun without me.
Just
go.
I just
burn.
I'll suicide later. I just want to see it scream and burn and just twist and just completely.
This is getting kind of dark.
Welcome to my life. I mean, I had to review the fucking thing, and I still haven't recovered. Fuck that shit. Fuck Scout? It to hell. Yes.
Yeah. Me too.
It was 2 years ago.
Review it. Mine is pink, of course.
That's your prerogative. You like to do whatever with it. You fuck it. Just do whatever. I don't care. It's shit in my eyes.
Whenever anybody complains about PvP or something, I show up in a pink Asp Scout and I start handing out hot blankets and cocoa. You know, make it feel better.
Okay. All right. Sure, why not? Sure.
That's the true purpose of the Asp Scout there.
You know?
All right. Fair enough for each
dial wine 11 and I'll show up, you know?
Direct line to the gay star. I need cocoa right now. All of a sudden, something really shiny, really, really luminescent comes to your face. Yeah, or in your face.
It's like the fuel rats, but, you know, with compassion.
All right.
Anyway,
but returning to the fleet carriers, yeah. So the price tag obviously is just there to literally just dispose or at least give the big veterans and whatnot else a place to just siphon their already over-collected, you know, pocket change too. That at least right now feels like, and I expected as much. Really, I expected as much. Okay, my original expectation was 2 billion plus upgrade money, right? If they don't put in upgrade money, then, you know, fine. It's 5 billion, fine, sure. It's still a place to put your cash. I hate it, but fine. You put it in, it's there. But the fact that developers decided, oh, you know what? We're going to give this special information to some news outlet out there, right? Somebody that probably also gets paid, that we, you know, give them information and they publish our information about the new update. Again, they didn't exactly say that it was sponsored, so I assume it wasn't. But regardless, they published information that devs themselves did not actually disclose themselves. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Why is games media getting more information to disclose to the public than developers themselves?
Again, I am shocked. Shocked, I say.
Yeah, oh no.
That's where all this is coming from? Not the developers themselves?
Yeah, the PC gamers.
Well, they confirmed it. They confirmed it after the fact. After
so basically,
many people yelled.
So I released my video, right? And I get on Reddit somebody, you know, saying that there will be decommissioning thing. And I was like, wait, what? Literally, that's what I wrote. And he afterwards posts a link to PCgames.com, right? The article. And I read through it. There's a quote literally at the end. Just if you incur a debt, the ships may be subject to decommissioning. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then a sentence before that mentions weekly upkeep. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? I'm just, and obviously,
did you get like
I
5 people in your comments too that were like, oh no, that's not confirmed. That's just the press. That's just the missed article.
No,
it's wrong.
no. It was first things first, as I usually do, shit posting on Twitters. So I put it on Twitters. I poke, afterwards, obviously, poke Will and. Which one was the other one? I think it was Stefan. Yeah, Stefan privately about those things and tell them like, you need to answer this. Like, this is not looking good. Like, truly not good. Answer this, at least in some way. Just clarify it. Otherwise, this looks really bad. And their clarification was even bigger, shooting your own foot than not
Thanks
talking.
for spreading the word, Yamiks.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? Okay, feel free to talk among yourselves. I'm gonna find that tweet right now. So
was that passive aggressive? You think? I don't know. I couldn't read the tone of it.
I'll read you in at least the tone that I personally think they wrote it. Let me just find it real quick. It's all good.
But yeah,
so how's it going, guys?
Oh yeah, no, it's fine.
How's it going? It is, well, there's that whole virus stuff going on, and I work in the healthcare field.
Ooh.
So it's very stressful. That's how it's going.
I'm sorry, man.
Well, as long as you're healthy and good.
Oh yeah, I'm good. But a lot of people have a lot of downtime right now. They're social distancing and such.
Yeah.
So
time to watch Yamiks stream or Gaze videos or Pilot's videos or, well, if you guys streamed on your streams too.
Even though all our ad rev is crashed, but whatever.
Wait, what's ad rev?
The ad
I think that you may get eventually that might support some of your game purchases from time to time. That's at least how it was back in the day for me when I was. Gaze, you're currently at around 3,000 subscribers or so.
5, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, around that time I was getting enough that I could buy maybe a cheap game on sale every month or so. So that was kind of nice. So
I don't get a penny.
Well,
do you not have it turned? Oh wait, is it 10,000? You have to have it?
No, it's you 1, have to have 1,000 and specific view hours and whatnot else. But that's this anyway. Right, got the tweet there. So right, so I say, what the fuck, right, in my typical the shit posting tone on Twitters, and developers eventually give an answer there. So hey, Yamiks, thanks for sharing the news. We've lots of new features to share in our upcoming stream, including how the decommissioning system works. Spoiler, you need to incur a huge debt for that to happen, as if that makes us any more satisfied with that answer. Anyways, and our devs know that you want to go on a vacation from time to time. And that's the tone that I would think. Right. Yes.
I need to be very clear here. I desperately want the stream next Thursday, the pre-made video that they roll, to be completely full of gameplay and features and all these things that you can do. I want to be wrong here. I want to be a massive asshole.
I want to see a shitfest. I want that thing to be downvoted, but not because I said so, because it is that bad. Because everyone
I want to be proven wrong.
Recognizes.
I want to be wrong. I really do. I want
it's possible
to be amazing. I don't think I'm wrong, but I want to be wrong.
Yeah, so but that last sentence, I already talked yesterday about the whole thing. It's just developers say that they know you want to take a vacation, right? They know that you want to take a vacation right now. Now let's take a quick look online and take a look, and what is the definition of vacation? I'm being a nitpicky piece of shit right now, but it's
really
always fun to
Good
be.
Lord.
Hey, right, so a vacation or holiday is a leave of absence from a regular occupation. Occupation oftentimes being referred to as a job. Now, so if they use the word vacation in this instance, means that they expect you or presume that Elite already is your second job, if not the primary. I mean, okay, for me and Pilot.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's more involved, obviously, but we are using the medium of their product to produce
well, to be
our
fair,
own.
If you can afford that $5 billion fleet carrier, it probably is your second job.
Or you have played for a long time, like, well, I assume most of us and, well, all of us here, right? So eventually we've accumulated enough cash, but even I haven't accumulated enough. I have currently 4.2 billion, and I have enough money for everything, right? I don't need to grind, and I stopped grinding. So most people also will stop grinding after they reach enough stuff. They won't, just go and do that thing constantly. So that's the thing. I don't know. Is it condescending? Is it just stupid wording? Is it just, well,
it's a little condescending.
Did you see that in the comments? Do you see this? This Game of Sutra has FDev's official release that PC Gamer quoted from. There's one thing I didn't understand though. They put an insurance price, but they're saying the things are indestructible. Why? What?
I assume the insurance price is essentially just the purchase price that they, I don't know, twisted the wording around, I assume, and so on and so forth. But
I gotta.
But anyways, that last sentence about, we know that you want to take let's say a break. Even that sort of that sentence is just bad.
It implies that they expect you to be playing their game a lot.
So much more. And okay, I understand as a developer, you should be saying that, oh yeah, come play my game and so on and so forth. Encourage playing the game and never say that you shouldn't play the game, like one other developer had told me directly at LaveCon one time. But regardless, that's a stupid sentence that somebody said one time. But, the thing is, as a developer, you shouldn't assume, like, just these horrible things. Because having a game as your job is a really bad thing. And even so, it's just, no. If you want to go on a break, if you, let's say, return after a while, you can freeze your ship. Just not even put that stupid sentence there. How about that? Hey, yeah. But yeah, that's that is just...
It rubs me the wrong way, too.
Yeah. It just makes you think. Gamma Sutra, let's see. All hands on deck, blah, 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 blah. Oh, gods, I need to read.
It's the unedited press release. This is what they actually set out.
Yeah, there was something else written in there, but I'll go through it off stream and whatnot else. But right, so okay, let's say. Right, so the whole decommissioning, right? So that means, you have some sort of upkeep, which they did mention, right? So they have upkeep for these ships. Okay. Now, why is the upkeep necessary? That's the main question. Well, if you didn't know or didn't think of why that even is necessary, well, the upkeep for you is essentially to return to play the game or to keep grinding or doing something with the game. Just extend your play time. That is the game incentivizing you and also pushing the psychological thing called FOMO, or fear of missing out, to you, essentially, to keep on going and doing their thing so that they potentially could, I don't know, advertise to you with their microtransactions and whatnot else, because, of course, that nonsense. Regardless, the thing is, there is a weekly penalty if you don't keep up, and that's a penalizing system, just like another thing in Elite Dangerous, the power play. And how power play has worked out, not so well. Not a single game that I know of with a penalizing system works well, aside from Dark Souls.
Actually, there's a lot more. There's a little bit more information. The Game of Sutra article, it says it's actually incorporating player-to-player commerce for the first time in ED. Fleet carrier owners can set tariffs on all goods traded on their carrier services to support the upkeep cost from wear and tear maintenance. You can either will you be a friend to the galaxy and support wayward travelers, or a tyrant who taxes those in need? Huh.
Cool concept.
Yeah, okay. There's a little
How
bit of
they enforce that, though? How they enforce the whole traveling thing with a immobile fortress that is literally a speck of a dust in even a small system?
I guess you'd have to advertise it somewhere.
I don't know.
And if you could be a tyrant, then you should be able to be destroyed. Right?
Yeah, they're mega ships. They're unmovable static points, so I highly no, they won't be destroyable.
I know. I was saying I want them to be.
They would be nice. Yeah, you know, you could at least recreate one of their so well-crafted trailers, but probably not. And the thing is, with the fleet carriers, right, so the price is one thing, right? So because you have the weekly upkeep, right, you have to have that penalty, right? So you every time you don't keep up, you have that penalty. And what's the point of, having a penalty if there's no even bigger penalty if you ignore it for too long? So developers or designer, whoever, decided this bullshit, decided, okay, so that whole ignoring of the penalty will eventually lead to, the ship being taken away. Yeah, there we go. That's a great idea, right? And okay, now we have decommissioning, right? Okay, let's say that they return, or rather they basically take the ship and sell it for full money. Then there's no penalty. There's literally no penalty. All you're doing essentially is just losing that ship, and you can buy a new one right away. So there has to be some sort of a penalty, even if that is a percentage loss or some kind of a loss additionally to just losing the access to that mega ship. I mean,
you probably don't get all your money refunded. You probably only get
that's the thing, and that's what I'm saying. It won't be all of your money refunded. Otherwise, what is the point of even just decommissioning? There has to be something. Otherwise, it makes no sense. Why decommission it if you just get all your money back? Buy a new one right away.
I'm starting to get the impression that you don't have to actually directly support the thing now. What you do is you support it by getting income from taxes for fuel and repairs.
That is one of the ways they imply that the whole upkeep may be resorted through, selling.
You might not have to log in other words. You might not have to be there in order to make money to keep it running.
Regardless, good. Let's say you you get to a point where your ship needs to be decommissioned. Well, you lose some of your investment into that thing. So just since they do say that, just like your ships, normal ships, you would be able to customize your fleet carrier, or at least they planned it to be similar, right? To be customizable.
What if decommissioning has nothing to do with the upkeep? Well, if decommissioning is only the equivalent of selling the ship, like if you go into debt, you can sell some of your other ships to pay that debt. Maybe that's just another option. Maybe that's just what they call selling a fleet carrier, decommissioning. What if upkeep, going in the negative and upkeep, doesn't decommission the ship? What if it just
then what is the point of weekly upkeep?
Just for fuel and repairs.
Well, then what's the point of just having that? Again, if the weekly upkeep doesn't really just incur any sort of a penalty for the player for ignoring it, you can continuously just ignore it. That's it. You're still going to be able to do things. Okay, if they remove, say, those repairing and fueling and shipyards, what else on your fleet carrier, that kind of is the penalty, but you're still keeping your ship, so they imply that the whole ship will be decommissioned if the debt is huge enough.
I think that's true, actually. I think you're right, but I think I know why. Into stars all over the freaking place that nobody has been to.
Real quick, sir.
Sorry, if you go into Eve, you'll find keep stars all over the place that people have not logged into for literally years, but the station is still there and not being maintained. The way they handled it was they have roving NPC fleets that just go ahead and attack these places and eventually blow them up. It takes 48 hours, but eventually they do get blown up. I think this might be a better concept, that if there's no traffic to your ship and there's nobody touching it, including you, then we're just going to for like a year, we're going to remove it from the galaxy. That might actually be okay.
Yeah, the cleanup.
But you're still. That's the thing. You already, Elite Dangerous is very specific about many things, and game design oftentimes is not a completely penalizing one, right? You're not going to be losing your 5 billion investment, otherwise that would be completely stupid, which honestly at this point I'm not sure if that will be the case, but I doubt developers are that evil to literally just vanish a 5 billion credit sum from your account.
Well, if there's
like that.
If there's no traffic to the ship and you haven't logged in for a year and they take it out, I'm okay with it. I am.
I expect them. I really expect them to do the same thing with what they do with normal ships. When you get your ships blown up, you have, or rather, not blown up, but when you sell your ships, you have specific loss of money that you incur, and that usually is around, whatever, 10, 25% or something. I don't remember what it was exactly, because when you sell the ship, you also sell the modules, which also has their own price, so that kind of brings the percentage kind of up and whatnot. But regardless, let's say once your ship is decommissioned, you lose 10% of your investment. From 5 billion, that's 500 million regardless, and losing that amount of sum is still shitty thing to do. No other thing within Elite actually makes you lose that much money. The most you can lose in one death is, what was it? Let's see, 5% out of 1.6 billion.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's all relative. Realistically, if you don't log in for a bank account anyway.
You cut out that again.
Yes. Sorry. I was saying that if you haven't logged into the game for over a year, chances are you don't give a shit about your bank account anyway.
That still doesn't make it right for the bank to use your funds and just vanish them. They can't do that. No, they can't do that.
I mean, they can't leave the unused fleet carriers just littering space out there if they're not being used at all.
Again, that will be the whole weekly upkeep and the commissioning. Eventually, the question is, how long will it actually take for the decommissioning to take, place? Oh boy.
I'd say probably a year is more than fair. And realistically, I mean,
for me, honestly, it doesn't matter. It's a really stupid idea, and I hate it so much. And I just want to slap the person who thought of this in a game design sense in the face.
I imagine
possibly a wet fish.
Okay, hold on. Just picture this. Say you're flying along. You're flying out to Colonia. Okay, you stop at one of these systems. There's a fleet carrier there. You're like, oh, I could refuel instead of scooping, and I could get some repair or whatever. You land on the carrier. It takes you in, but the guy hasn't logged in for 6 months. There hasn't been enough traffic, so all of the services are shut down. So the whole point of landing on this thing was for nothing. It was a waste of time. Why the hell is this even here if it can't do anything? Now, I grant you that's normally the FDev way of it doesn't have to do anything. It's pretty. But I like the concept that if it doesn't do anything, it shouldn't be there. And I think you should.
Then basically most of the galaxy within Elite Dangerous shouldn't exist, and I agree with that, to be honest. No, I'm serious. No,
I know you agree with it.
That's the thing. Well, I do like the fact that and it is one of the best things about Elite Dangerous that there's a massive space and systems, so many around and whatnot else. It doesn't do any favors to the general gameplay for the game's sake. Too much, at least for me. Eventually it just becomes, oh, this is the same star system, that's another star system. It's all the same. It just waters down the more important and interesting bits. Though we're playing an RNG's paradise, so fuck it.
I was about to say, what interesting bits, man? I can find the same plants on one.
Hey, have you been to Pomechi 2C? Huh? Pomechi has really, crevassy sort of a planet, that canyon planet as well. Those are good.
Crevassy.
Yes.
You mean the wrinkled ball sack planets? I love them.
Yes, that very, very nice ball sack planet. Fuck it, let's just move to.
You need all those rice nothing planets in order to make the special planets stand out even more.
So basically, like normal RNG just happens. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, this is the case where I say Star Citizen has done it properly. You have a few, fucking celestial bodies. That's it. All of them are unique, and boom, you
mean
can
Star
find something
Citizen?
unique. Yeah,
Star Citizen that one that had insurance on land plots.
Oh
Really?
yeah, they have the insurance. No, they sell insurance forms for insurance. On a land clay on the land planet thing on the planet's land. Yeah,
That's
there we
just
go.
gross.
Fucking
Ozzy's
insurance forms, not insurance, not the land itself. No, insurance forms that you need to fill out. Essentially, go on a planet, stick it in, and then travel to claim it. That's literally Star Citizen's amazing a land claim system, which is just the most retarded fucking thing ever.
I kind of like No Man's Sky's claim system.
When it doesn't bug out, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's decent.
Anything can bug out.
Right. Well, yeah, I agree with Pilot here. So I suppose it's time to kind of wrap up this nonsensey, ranty thing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Any last comments on fleet carriers?
No. I hope I'm wrong.
We'll just wait for more details. That's all I can say.
I can't wait for the shitfest to unravel. I really can't wait until the next shoe drops. That's my thing. Because it's already bad. It's beyond the levels of stupid that I could have thought could be possible. Now I'm just looking forward to more. It will get worse, I promise you. It's Frontier, for fuck's sakes. They haven't disappointed me in that sense of bringing bad news.
They'll delay it another year.
Oh, I'm not one of the people who care about the delays. Like, I really don't. And
yeah,
fuck it. You know,
I'm happy with what I got. You know.
Not very happy with what I got. Fucking engineering sucks dick, and grinding in Elite is horrible, but regardless, that's another topic. Anyways. Right, so, yeah, for today's little the news thing, I was joined by Pilot here and Spatula?
Spatula geese.
Spatula geese, yeah. Spatula geese.
There you go.
There you go, yeah. Yeah, big thanks to both of you for coming along. And, next week, again, some more news, hopefully. Oh, wait, no, we will have news. After all, we'll have the part 2 of this shitfest. Oh, God. And then the next week after that, we're going to have the beta shitfest. Oh, that's going to be glorious. And, oh, it's going to be fun 2-3 weeks. Oh, shit. Oh, it's a shitfest, folks. Brace for impact. Anyways,
and
that's
the
about it.
I'll always be there for you.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go over a couple of generous tips here that I got during the stream. So, got to say thanks to Gavin here for a little tip there. Really appreciate it, and Jonas as well. Will mine 5 billion for me now? No, I'll mine 5 billion for myself and make a review, and then forget about this fucking game almost, or at least forget about the damn fucking thing in general. So, yeah. And I had a little. Okay, you know what? At this point, hold on. Here's a repeat. This is why you have condoms, friend. Yes, that Dark Rises was correct on that. Troll message. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the little space race news and what entails the weekly thing that I try to do. And yeah, tune in next week for the same thing, and we'll see what's what. As for now, well, yes, I bid you adieu for today. Keep safe, clean things, clean yourself. Don't forget to shower as well. It's kind of important, even if you're
wash your hands.
Definitely very important. And yeah, that's about it for now. Join the Discords and and all the wonderful things. There are links in the description or what else. Anyways, take care.
Bye.
I'll see you then.
Adios.